Let me show you now the things to come. Soldiers, forces rushing through, they see everything you do.
Here comes the spring equinox on March 20th at 3:06 a.m. Tropical Astrology Universal Time Coordinated, when the sun moves into the sign of Aries the Ram this year, 2024. The vernal equinox, or spring equinox, is indicative of the sun traversing over the equator of the earth. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thanks for joining us. Now, an ancient pagan festival which many modern pagans continue to celebrate to this day is called Ostara. The holiday of Ostara is a veneration of the goddess Ostara, and also known as Oestre, and is German in origin. So that's where it comes from. Now, the Christianization of the holiday of Ostara, aka Ostre, or is Easter. Okay, that's where the name comes from. It's Easter, which is actually a fertility festival commemorating birth, regeneration, and the miracles of the miraculous rebirth. Okay, a rebirth of a springtime flora and fauna. All of nature wakes up. Okay, now the spring equinox is when the length of the daylight hours and the length of the nighttime hours is in equal similitude with the sun in a waxing phase, with sunlight hours increasing and night hours decreasing. Okay, so that's the meaning of the vernal or spring equinox. Now, guardian angels to invoke for spring equinox are the planetary archangel of the sun, being Michael, the archangel. Okay, he's a planetary archangel of the sun. He's also the archangel of fire, but for this purpose, it's for the, and the fire signs of the zodiac, but this is for the sun, the planetary angel of the sun. And, okay, the zodiac angel for the sign of Aries the Ram is Melchidael. And they help to provide opportunities to increase fertility and energy and activity and courage, and to begin new ventures. So this is the time for these angels, these guardian angels, and who and why they should be invoked. Now, planetary archangel Michael's tarot card is the Sun card. Okay, the Sun card of the tarot deck, and the Hebrew letter associated with the Sun card is the Hebrew letter Resh, and it means consciousness, or the front of the brain, the front of the head. Okay, Resh. Magical colors that invoke the sun are golden yellow for the queen scale receptive color hue, and a clear pink rose for the king scale projective color code hex. Now, magical numbers for the sun are 6 and 666 mainly, and also 36 and 111, all gotten from the magic square of the sun. Okay, all gotten from the magic square. Magic squares are something that you can look up, and they're something that's mathematical, so you can't go wrong. And they use sigils based on tracing the numbers in the magical squares. That's where a lot of the angelic symbols come from. Okay, and the script, angelic script, that kind of thing. You'll see a circle and a line, and it'll show you where it begins and ends, those kinds of things. Zodiac angel Melchidael for Aries tarot card is the Emperor card, and the Hebrew letter for the Emperor card is He, H-E-H. Okay, this is the Emperor card. You see the ram heads here with the horns, the Emperor, and the colors for Aries, and you see the powerful Emperor, and you can see that it is indicative of Aries. Aries ruling planet is Mars. Okay, having the overseeing planetary angel Samael, said to be the consort of Lilith in Jewish mythology. Lilith was Adam's first wife, and apparently, according to the legends, the couple broke up due to Lilith maintaining dominance over Adam. Okay, magical colors that invoke Aries ruling planet of Mars are scarlet red for the queen scale receptive color hue, and orange for the king scale projective color hex. Magical numbers for Mars are 5, 325, mainly, and also 25 and 65, all gotten from where? That's right, from the magic square of Mars. The planetary spirit of Mars is Barzabel, and the planetary intelligence of Mars is Raphael. The martial spirit and intelligence can be used to make one strong, powerful, and to conquer adversaries during conflicts or battles. So you can't just use them willy-nilly. You have to know what you're doing and use them for specific things, because a lot of power, and it can be used to help you, but it can also destroy things. It can increase red blood cells, and it can hinder bleeding, but it can also cause one, like people use it in, like Tuesday is ruled by Mars. That's a good day to have surgery, that kind of thing. It's also a good way to start a war. So you have to know what you're doing, okay? It's a powerful energy. Don't mess around with it if you don't know what you're doing, okay? But nowadays, the internet has so much information. You can just study before you do things, and you'll be fine, because there's a lot of information out there, a lot of good things, a lot of good websites, a lot of good blogs, a lot of good videos on YouTube and on Facebook and on TikTok. All right, now, Goetic Demons. Okay, we're going to talk about the Goetia. Okay, we're going to talk about the Goetia. Okay, the Goetia, the lesser key of Solomon, the king. This one is translated by Samuel Little and McGregor Mathers, and it is edited with introduction by Aleister Crowley. This one that I have here. Okay, and the publisher, I'll have to find out who the publisher is for you. Oh, it's Samuel Weiser. Yeah, Samuel Weiser. Okay, so the Goetia. So the Goetic Demons are 3 in number, according to the lesser key of Solomon the king. The first decan, because there's 3 decans, go to 30 degrees in each zodiac sign. Okay, there's 10 degrees, 10 degrees, 10 degrees. Decan, 3 decans, and there's 30 degrees in each zodiac sign. You see how it works? Okay, so the first decan, the first 10 degrees is King Bael of the sun, which will be in effect at the moment of the sun entering Aries. Now, what's really interesting about King Bael, and there are some public domain pictures that are classic tradition pictures, which are in here, but Bael has an appearance that I must say, he looks an awful lot like, wonderfully like, King Charles. Okay, he looks like King Charles. Okay, Bael in this rendering, which is the typical rendering. Okay, it's very interesting. King Charles. Okay, and because the demon Bael is king. He's a king Bael, and he's of the sun. Again, which will be in effect at the moment of the sun entering Aries. Okay, so understand that. Now, King Bael has his dominion over the easterly direction. Okay, he appears in various shapes as either a cat, a toad, or a man, and can also assume all of these forms at once simultaneously, as was in the picture that I just showed you. Okay, he grants the power of invisibility to those which properly pay him homage, service, or honor. Okay, so he will grant the power of invisibility to people who use the layman that's attributed to him, his sigil, and use it properly and invoke him properly. Okay, very powerful. So when Prince Charles became King Charles, I mean, he always had this appearance, but boom, because you notice this image has a crown. Okay, it's a king's crown. So when Prince Charles became King Charles, boom, he really became the embodied, he has the physical DNA to be able to embody King Bael. Okay, King Bael. And when you see images of frogs, for whatever reason, it's going to be associated with Bael. When you see images of cats, it's going to be associated with Bael. All 3 together, Bael. And that most likely has, this is just something that I presume, I don't want to be presumptuous, but Bael sounds like Bael, B-A-A-L, which means Lord. Okay, in the ancient scriptures, the god Bael, or Baal, B-A-A-L, means Lord. okay? And he's an ancient god, you know, in the Middle East, okay? All right, now, and he's mentioned in the Bible, of course. And when we see the word Lord, it is Baal indeed, whether it's Lord Jesus Christ or whether it's Lord God, it's Baal. He's a god of fertility, and he's a god of like storms, and brings fertility and rain and those kinds of things. And you see, whenever you see someone like this with the fist up, that's Baal. That's a statue of Baal. When you see the fist up, whenever you see Jesus in a picture where he's whipping or anything, somebody like whipping in the clearing people out of the temple, that he assumes he's Lord. He becomes Baal. Jesus becomes Baal in that image. Okay, so that's because that's the way the statues of Baal are, always with the fist in the air. Okay, so it's very powerful. Okay, and his wife Asherah. Okay, and the Asherah pole, which is why strippers use a pole and they dance around it. That's the ancient Asherah pole that goes with the ancient goddess. So there's a method to all the madness and a lot of power that goes with all these things. Now, the Goetia states, okay, that King Baal's voice sounds hoarse when he talks. So when you hear someone talking and they become hoarse in the speech, that can be Bael, B-A-E-L, coming through, King Bael coming through, first decan of Aries, ruled and of the sun. He's a planetary attribute of the sun, even though Mars is for Aries, but individually, each one in this Aries sign, each decan has its own planet attributed to it, and they're not Mars, okay? They have their own attributes for that. And it's very important because this gets into stars and star systems, and even though it's in a certain sign, certain stars within that constellation are attributed to various planets that may not be the main ruler of that sign. So it gets very precise. The energies get very precise for each star. There's the constellation of Aries and Mars ruling that. Nevertheless, each star in the constellation of Aries has other planetary aspects which are of other planets, okay? And it's important to know those because it gives an indication of the energies that go with it, both the beneficial and the baneful energies that go with it. Okay, so moving along to now, okay, again, after that, as the sun or the Archangel Michael moves through the sign of the Ram, okay, the second decan demon is Duke Agares of Venus, depicted as materializing as an aged and pale man sitting astride a crocodile and holding a goose hawk in his hand. Okay, so the Goetia states that even with this display, he is gentle in his looks. Duke Agares is a subjugate of the easterly forces, so he's sort of under the dominion of King Bael. And he has the influence to cause escapees to return to their rightful place and can make individuals that are loitering to scamper away. Duke Agares has ability to make the earth shake and to devastate decorum and exaltedness on either the spiritual or the corporeal planes of existence. So he has those attributes. Now, Duke Agares can also instruct students to learn various dialects and vernaculars. Later, the third decan demon is Prince Vassago of Jupiter, okay, portrayed as being in similitude with Duke Agares, having the capacity to relay information about events that took place in the long ago and those things which will occur in the future. Prince Vassago is said to have high quality characteristics. He's a spirit, a demon that has a high quality. He's of a high quality. He's classy. Okay. Now, you see the one that you're seeing here is Duke Agares. Okay, the one sitting on the crocodile holding the goose hawk. Okay. So there you have it. I was covering the one that was a little naughty. There's another demon that's a little naughty. I don't know if I can show that in a picture without having to put it on a different setting for age restrictions and those kinds of things. So when I get into some of these things that might be a little more risque, I'll put a age restriction for 18-year-olds or something like that and show you how these things really are, what's actually going on. So this is extremely interesting. And thank you for joining us, and join us again next time for our next installment. We'll see you again next time.
Let me show you now the things to come. Let me show you how and where to run.